Hello, ladies and gentlemen of the internet and of YouTube. Welcome back to Final Fantasy D6 Chronicles of Eno. I am your game master and host, Skajarmas, otherwise known as Tone Shift, and with me today we have all of our players all lined up nice and neat. I'll just read them from left to right. First up, we have Hades Shadow 92, who is playing our male human Dark Knight Thanatos.
Ha 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 ha.
Next up, we have Luminous Starlight playing our female cyborg chocobo warrior, Rocket.
Whee!
Quee!
Clee.
Up third, we have Darkness, who ironically is playing our male human paladin, Alistair.
Heyo.
And last but not least, we have Tom117Z, who is playing as Neothil, our currently traumatized Elvon female ranger.
I have pizza, so it's all fine now.
And he didn't share.
Yeah, I mean, that's what happens
I'm
when you're
good.
separated by a gigantic fucking ocean.
Well, I had a large one yesterday, so I'm good.
Yeah.
After being in a tent for the last few days, just coming home and ordering a big takeout pizza is just heaven.
I wouldn't know. I've never had something like that before. You know, sleeping in a tent for a few days. Closest I ever came to that was sleeping in an RV for a few days, but that's about
It's pain, especially when you don't get much sleep for reasons I will continue to explain. Jibber jabber.
Well,
no.
at least you didn't get flooded in at one point. You woke up.
Oh,
to
it kind of
being
happens.
soaked.
Well, I tend got a little bit of water in it from rain.
it.
Ah,
Enjoy.
Yeah.
Alright. Anyways,
yeah.
so, if you will all listen in, I will take a moment to recap where we left off last time.
Go ahead.
So, where we last left off in Chronicles of Eno, our party was continuing their efforts to just get themselves back together and calm themselves in the wake of their defeat at the hands of Saran, the leader of the cult of plague enthusiasts here in this quarantined city of Marasu. Rocket, yes, Rocket awoke to start off the session, and after having a nice little reunion with the rest of the cast, everyone more or less just went about to do their own thing for a little while, just getting their heads together, getting some new equipment for some members of the party, and in the case of Neothil, flirting relentlessly with Mika Solwyn, and having a bit of an emotional roller coaster ride over the course of what was left of the day.
I ship it.
Everyone does. Between getting some hints possibly about maybe an aspect of her backstory and the strange vision she keeps having, and then just in general having a tender and emotional moment with Thanatos, which then led to a punched chin twice.
Worth it.
He deserved it.
And just all in all, a bunch of character development happened last chapter. Where we ended off last time, as the sun was setting and the night was coming, Neothil experienced another vision of the Dark Woman, as she's come to call her, with the added context of the potential of Amber having something to do with these visions, the demonic crystals that spread chaos and darkness. Neothil was understandably distraught by the vision, and when it was disturbed, she was ushered to a room in the palace to sleep for the night, as she was far too emotionally distraught to safely traverse through the snow-smothered streets at night, while the rest of the cast did their usual and slept at the Whiskers Corner Inn and Tavern, deeper in the city, including
Have
Rocket.
no idea.
Indeed. And even Rocket got to sleep inside because it's freaking snowing now. And the innkeeper has grown attached enough to like, yeah, no, you don't need to sleep out in that. And our last session ended with everyone going to bed just after Thanatos, coinciding with Neothil's vision of the Dark Woman, heard the voice of his master commenting that something wasn't right.
Dun dun dun.
No foreshadowing there at all. Anyway, so, with that in mind, let's start with Neothil, I think. Seems like probably the best place to start, considering, you know, she ended on the most emotional note last time, and we can kind of get back to everyone else pretty soon. So, Neothil? After a less than restful night's sleep, you eventually come back to wakefulness to see that it's morning outside. You find yourself in a modest but well maintained and cleaned bedroom. The architectural style and construction materials immediately remind you that this is the palace. The bed's nice. There's an armoire against the far wall from you, a sort of a vanity mirror set up against another. Window is right next by your bed, allowing the muted colors of the morning to come in. It's a cloudy day and there's still snow falling, and it's built up a little bit overnight. So the world is just covered in sheets and sheets of white, and it's all pretty but ominous at the same time. And it's not at all helped by the whistling winds sort of howling through the city below that you can just hear through the window panes. That kind of thing. How do you wish to proceed? You're all alone in this room right now.
Well, damn it. I try to get to my feet.
Hey, that's easy enough. You're well rested. You're just, I mean, like you've slept. You've gotten a good night's rest. It's just, it was fitful. So at most you feel a little groggy, but you're not going to have any trouble standing. You've got your strength.
Well, Nee stands to her feet, kind of rubbing her forehead a little bit, and as she tries to recall everything that happened the previous day, because it's a whirlwind of emotion.
The glass case of emotions being thrown about by a whirlwind of them.
After a few moments of that, she stumbles towards the door to see if anyone's around, because she's not entirely sure where exactly she is.
All right, well, pushing the door open, you find yourself in a corridor. Again, you recognize the design as being inside the Marasu Palace. Judging by the elevation you're at, you're guessing you're currently on the second floor, if you look back out through the window again. Looking up and down the halls, you do not see anyone at present.
Alright, is there any other definable doorways?
Yeah, along the corridor, like opposite from you and kind of at even spaces along, there are doors set up, identical to yours. It looks like this is a housing section, a place where guests or visitors to the palace would stay for the night. On the far end of the hallway to your right, quite some ways away, about 3 or 4 doors down, you do see sort of an archway embedded into the wall and stairs sort of spiraling down.
Nee's going to head towards that, because if this is a housing section, last thing she wants to do is just barge in and go, "Hello! How's it going?"
Right. Well, you descend the stairs, and once you come out, you do actually recognize where you step out into as being part of the castle foyer. You've passed through it several times, though you've never passed through the archway that you just stepped out of before. There are a couple of guards standing by the archway as you step out, and they both notice you, kind of perk up. One of them says, "Oh, you're awake. Ikentema will want to know." He sort of nods at his friend. "Watch my spot?" "Yeah, go." He nods and goes sprinting off, his armor rattling as he goes.
Nee looks after him somewhat confusion and turns back towards the other guard. Why am I still in the castle?
I wasn't made fully aware of the specifics. All I know for sure is that, we were informed to let Mika and Tam know as soon as you came down.
Alright. Well, I'll remain here until that happens.
Alright, there are a few chairs over there if you want to have a seat. He sort of gestures, and yeah, there are a few sitting areas sort of scattered around the foyer, spots for people who would, typically speaking, be waiting to meet with Laren, would sit to wait.
Thank you. I'll do that.
Alright. It doesn't take long. Couple minutes later, the door on the other end of the hallway, or foyer from where you are, pops open, and in comes Mika and Tam. And Mika looks visibly relieved on seeing you all right and kind of comes over.
Oh, you're awake. How are you feeling?
Tired, foggy.
You were kind of out of it last night when we put you into bed, so...
I remember we were in the library, then I think I had another one of my visions.
That's what I heard. Tam pipes up, approaching as well. I was there.
You were,
Yeah.
huh?
Yes. I helped Mika calm you down. You were definitely...
How bad was it?
Well, you weren't responding to pretty much anything any of us was saying. Except just with grunts and sighs. You were sluggish, weren't really in there.
I'm sorry you had to see that.
It's fine.
Mika kind of shakes her head a bit and gives you an encouraging smile.
At least you're okay now, right?
Yeah, I think I am. What were we talking about last night before everything happened?
As I recall, we were just talking about the visions themselves and, whether or not they were tied to Amber and whether or not that meant anything for you, and...
Yeah, right, yes. Sorry, it's all just a whirlwind.
Well, at any rate...
Mika kind of adjusts herself a bit.
Your friends are probably worried about you.
Well, I didn't return last night. I said I would, so
Then you should
I should go check up on them.
Yes, you should. Tam sort of gives a nod. Give them our best, and our apologies.
I think I should be the one apologizing, but thank you for taking care of me.
Mika kind of looks like she wants to say something for a moment, but holds off and just kind of smiles.
Don't mention it.
Thank you both. And you, Mika, for okay. I will see you later.
You're kind of
Return.
cutting out.
So, thank you both, particularly you, Mika, for running to get help. I will see you later when I return.
All right. There we go. They both nod, and I assume at this point you see yourself out.
Yeah.
Ding.
That was my phone. Yeah. But yeah, so Nee kind of has one last glance at the two of them, particularly at the latter, and then, yeah, proceeds to return herself to the tavern so to let the others know that she hadn't tripped and died in the night.
All right. Well, with that in mind, we'll go ahead and cut over to the others then.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone else, you are waking up in the Whiskers Corner Inn and Tavern. The order in which you wake up, I leave to you. Or if you wake up all at once, doesn't really matter to me. Just how do you wish to proceed with the morning?
Well, if no one else is going to, I was just waiting for someone then. All right. I start to get up with a lot of thoughts on my mind, and even may have an idea. But of course, I need to focus on getting everyone together and also talking to the leader of this city.
All right, so what does that translate to?
Well, I get up and went to see where Hades and Rocket and Nee is.
All right, well, Thanatos, Rocket, where are you two?
I am slowly rolling out of bed.
Okay.
Emphasis on slowly.
And Rocket, as we established, is probably still downstairs in the common room.
Yeah, I'm in the common room preening.
Greening.
Mhm.
All right. Well, if that be the case, then Alistair comes down after a couple minutes.
Hmm. Ah. Morning, Rocket.
Good morning.
Sleep well?
Yeah.
Kind of the barkeep that let you in instead of staying out there tonight. Looks a bit white.
Yeah, it looks cold out there.
Hmm. Even though the cultists haven't attacked yet, it seems the snow ain't gonna lighten up anytime soon. Just hope it doesn't interfere with the fighting when it does come to that again.
Good.
But anyway, have you seen the others?
Not really. I just woke up myself.
Oh.
Could say at about this point is when Thanatos stumbles down.
I hate mornings.
Ah. Thanatos. Good to see you again. Where's Nee? Is she there too?
She's not with you?
Huh.
She wasn't in her room. I went to check.
Oh. Shit. Well, I hope she shouldn't have gone too far. Maybe maybe she went to the palace early, or actually, did anyone see her come back?
I was already asleep.
Damn it. You Rocket?
No, I haven't seen her.
Oh.
She's tough. I'm sure she's fine. She probably just stayed up at the palace.
Hmm. Well then, best get the rest of. Well, if you want to get anything while we're here, we check the palace next. Sounds like a plan.
Don't know what else we can do.
Is that about the time that you're saying that?
Hmm.
The door opens and in comes Neothil, looking a little frazzled from the snow.
And where have you been?
Oh, you're all up.
Oh, well, that's one worry of the day over with. Whew.
I
Good
was
to see you
I was honestly somewhat hoping you'd all still be asleep and wouldn't notice I was gone.
Hmm.
Well, no luck there. So, care to explain?
It's complicated.
Ah,
At this point, Nee, understanding that tone, exactly what's running through his mind, shoots him a glare, but unlike the playful kind of "shut the fuck up while I will deck you" glare that she gave before, this is a more serious glare that just says, "Don't."
and I kind of turned my head away and just like, okay, is it? Right.
Well, it's a good thing we're all back together.
That's what it is.
Hmm.
Sorry if I'm a little frazzled. Last night was not great.
Ah.
I see.
Are you up
No,
for?
you really, no, Thanatos, you really don't.
Very well then.
If you must know, it happened again.
Really?
I'll tell you about it later.
Hmm.
For now, what were you guys talking about before I interrupted?
We were thinking of heading up to the palace.
I was just there.
Well,
Oh.
sorry. You can stay here and get a drink while we go.
Now we need to find out what the scouts know.
Hmm.
Very well then.
I can tell you what happened on the way up, if you can get a moment.
If you ask real nicely, I'm sure Rocket will just carry you.
I can walk, thank you. This was This tested my mind, not my legs.
Very well then. Shall we be off?
Yep.
Lead the way.
All right, so the party's returning to the palace.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Even though I can't see it on my screen, but that's alright.
Oh shit, that's right. I totally forgot to.
Yeah.
Whoops. My bad. See, I even had
Perfect.
that. See, I even had.
Professional GM.
Sorry. See, I even had this little running thing I was doing, where as Nee was making her way to the Whiskers Corner, I was actually moving her token along the road towards the tavern as you guys were talking, and I timed her arrival as the token got there.
Well, the
Oh, that's what I
people
missed.
watching this will see it. Not
Yeah.
us.
Yeah. Oh well.
Well, as long as they see it, that's what's
Alright.
important.
Well, anyways, as you're all stepping out of the Whiskers Corner, I need all of you to roll awareness checks.
Oh god. Let's roll. 36.
Okay.
14, motherfuckers.
Woohoo!
The ranger is on her game today.
Ah, I got half that.
Literally half, yeah.
Where is 3? 12. Right behind you.
Well, I suck today. I guess my mind's preoccupied. What about you, Rocket? Can you beat my 7? Bet you can.
Easily.
Yep. Why slash dash in the middle of those two? Well done.
And Alice here is yet again. Got it right.
We're all like, oh, what's that? Alice here just want to
Wow. What a guess.
Well, actually, no. He sees it too. This wasn't a particularly high difficulty rating.
Oh, damn it.
There goes my joke.
Yeah, nice try. Anyway.
on the edge.
Yeah, it was 6, just so you're aware.
Oh, dear.
Anyways.
One up.
Yep. So, as you're all stepping out of the Whiskers Corner, you hear a small commotion to your right at the barricade where you had fended off that initial cultist attack on your first night
Oh,
here.
no.
Oh, bugger.
Well, this is where I think I live. That's good because I need
No
stress
traps for
relief.
the plan.
What?
I said, well, it's I need.
No, I heard what
need
I heard what Nee said. What did the other person say?
Who, me?
I think it was Bugger.
Ah. Anyway. Looking that way, it doesn't seem to be a fight commotion.
Oh.
Like, there's not a fight breaking out or anything, but the guards do look to be a bit more at the ready. Some of them do actually have their hands on their weapons, and they're talking to someone.
Uh-oh.
I slowly draw my crossbow and look to see who they're talking to, just in case.
Peering between the guards, you're able to catch sight of them. It looks like a female Mithra in ratty clothes, and you don't even really need to look at her for very long to figure out, yeah, she's infected, and pretty far along at that. The blisters and the flaking around her wrists and ankles. She seems to still have some grasp of her mind, though, despite the tremors in her body. She has the presence of mind to wipe away the foam that's trickling out the corner of her mouth.
It seems to be just a woman infected, maybe trying to get in. Poor thing.
Do any of you want to try and make out what she's saying?
Can do. Is that awareness?
I mean, or you could just walk up, but if you want to listen from afar, yeah, then that would be an awareness check.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure we want to get involved until we know what's going on. 'Cause this might
I'd
just
be
be
pretty
something
close
we
to
deal
the
with regularly.
gate, but only to a certain distance, just in case she may cough up something nasty through the gate. So just
Yeah.
listening.
I'm going to try and listen in. 13.
All right. Listening in, you can make out what she's saying. She's not exactly making an effort to be quiet, though you can tell she's trying to keep herself composed, but her voice is shaking, as is the rest of her body, and it sounds like she's just barely keeping herself from going into a frantic state. And she's saying,
Please, you have to help me. My little sister, they took her, and I know where they went. I just can't get at them.
And the guard's like, ma'am, please calm down. Can't help you if you're just screaming at us.
What are they
Oh.
saying, eh?
She's asking for help for her little sister.
There's not much help we can give.
We might as well hear her out. I'm gonna walk through the guards and then ask what's going on.
I'm a follower.
And I
I
as
am
well.
I am rather cautious though, because I am aware that this could be a trap by Saran again.
Again.
Go, lure them out with some sort of heroics, and then we'll ambush them.
Oh, God.
All right. Well, anyway, so as you approach and you speak up and you ask what's going on, the Mithra woman immediately turns to you, and her eyes are incredibly bloodshot, and looks like there are some long dried streaks down her cheeks. She sort of turns her attention entirely to you as you approach.
Do you know anyone at the palace?
Yes. What is happening?
My little sister. She's a little further along than I am with the infection. Cultists took her. I get. And.
She suddenly goes into a coughing fit, falls to her knees. Some blood squeeches out between her fingers.
Is it anything Asia can do magically? Because we can't get close to her.
I
Just to
don't
ease the pain
think
so she
my-
can talk to us.
I will try my best, but I warn you, it may not be enough. She's in a real bad way.
We know you can't cure her, but just so she can speak.
I try and make her most decent as I can.
All right. You casting a spell or?
I advise
Yes.
a spell, because if you touch it, you're infected.
Because I am not going to touch it. I have to do the spell.
Yeah, let's do that.
Don't make me drag your ass back again.
I wasn't even intending to go near her. I could know she's in a bad way. No. I may want to help people, but I don't want to infect myself, because if I am infected, then I won't be much help to anyone. So, yeah, I have to cast a spell, a healing spell as such.
Which one?
Which, let's see. She's coughing, so.
I mean, he's
That's
only got
fine.
2, so I would imagine cure.
Yeah. Yeah, it wasn't exactly cure her, but it may make her a bit more healthy, I guess.
So you're casting cure?
Hmm.
All right.
Something's
See what it
occurring to
does.
me, but we'll see what she says if she can speak.
All right. I won't ask you to roll I won't ask you to roll for restored hit points, although do subtract the MP for the spell yourself.
Okay. So, was it 1 for cure or?
No, it's a lot more than that for cure.
Oh, cure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 7.
Yeah.
Ooh. Better be worth it. Okay,
Okay.
so 7 take away 26 is 19.
All right. So, Alistair kind of does the few hand motions, and a green light sort of drifts off of his hands as he works. Some of it sort of weaves around the woman as she's coughing, and as it does, her coughs sort of abide a bit. She's still shaking, and she still has all of her symptoms, of course, but, she sort of wipes her arm across her face and is able to wipe away the excess blood that kind of dribbled down her chin. Looks up at you with breathing a bit more steadily now.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You were saying about a sister?
Yeah.
She slowly hauls herself up, and it's at this point that you realize perhaps the term woman was a bit of a stretch. She looks to be no more than a late teenager at most.
Oh my goodness.
She's sort of very skinny, I might add. Just kind of getting her appearance now that she's calmed down a bit, you get the impression of someone who doesn't get enough to eat. And her ratty and messed up appearance, you get the feeling this is a homeless person. Or at the very least, someone who was very down on their luck before everything went to hell.
So, how does she respond to the inquiry.
Yeah, so she takes a moment, takes a few more deep breaths, trying to steady herself, and then says,
My little sister and I, we've lived on the streets for a while. We know them like the back of our hands. So we know where all the places to find food to scavenge among all this chaos are. While we were out and about,
her eyes sort of flick over to the guards.
last night, yesterday evening, we bumped into some soldiers from the palace by accident. I thought maybe they were doing a purge or something, trying to quell infected, and I panicked and we ran. They followed us, though I know now it wasn't to kill us, just to ask questions. And then, while we were running through, down a street, a bunch of cultists fell on them, and my sister tripped and fell, and by the time I realized what was happening, I couldn't go back. She was already being dragged off. I followed them, and I saw the captured soldiers and my little sister being hauled into this warehouse down near the docks. They didn't come out.
So that's the scouting party, and this could very well be the seat of the plague in the area. Rat Hunter's Quarter, correct?
What was that?
Rat Hunter's Quarter. This area where we went Saran previously.
As you sort of, you didn't encounter him in the Rat Hunter's Corner. You
Oh, I mean,
encountered
yeah.
him right here.
No, it was over
Yeah,
there.
alright. Alright. Warehouse and Dock Administration. Like, towards the north of
Yeah,
the city?
yeah. Towards where, towards where the River Cirrus, flows in.
This could be a good lead. This could be where they're growing the amber and converting.
Or this could be another trap.
True,
This
but
is-
if we think it's going to be another trap, we will not engage this time.
Yeah, and how'd that work for us
Shit.
last time?
We engaged, so thus they're not engaged, Thanatos.
These bastards know how to play dirty.
Either way, we should report this to Laren Kane. Guards, could you let her stay here for a while we go and report this and then return?
What? You kind of phrased that a little weirdly to my ears.
Guards, could you please let her stay here for a while while we go and report this and return?
Okay. The first part was the part I didn't quite get, because I think you accidentally said us instead of her. Anyway.
The recording shall tell.
The guard nod. Don't forget, I'm operating off of 5 hours of sleep here. I'm not in prime condition.
I'm operating off of 4.
It's
Shush.
okay.
Well, then we're both fucked. Anyways.
Mm.
The guard kind of looks back and forth between you for a moment, and he gives a grim nod. All right. We'll be here.
Off to the palace we go. Hurrah, hurrah.
Good.
Hmm.
So, party starts to make their way back to the palace.
Thanatos. No.
Up. Go ahead. If you want to have a character interaction, do so. You stop me at any time for character interactions.
Okay. I didn't want to be in the people, but alright. Thanatos.
Mm.
Do you really think this could be a trap at all? I mean, what are the chances of that?
We captured one of their scouts and interrogated him, and it turned out to be exactly what this Saran asshole wanted. What's to stop him from sending out one of his own? For all we know, she could be one of his little spies or something. I feel
there's
sorry
at
for the
least-
poor girl, but after what happened last time, I'm not taking any chances.
Well, that is true, Nee says, like, overhearing that conversation. But if we are suspicious of every lead to the point of ignoring them, we will never get a break. I agree we must proceed cautiously, but we must proceed.
I just hope that Shawan isn't expecting us. I just think he might have defeated us If that
As
is the
I-
case, we may get the element of surprise.
Oh,
Or he could be waiting for us
I
again.
very much expect he's waiting for us.
If Saran is waiting for more of his goons, we are not fighting him. I would rather jump him alone if at all possible. But for now, if what she says is true, let's consider this a scouting run of our
Yes.
own before we decide anything.
I think that would be the best choice. We scout ahead. If there's too much to handle, we pull back and we think our plan. If we still have time to save them, that is.
If this is Saran's base of operations and where he is growing his amber, converting his followers, we could very well return to the palace and get an army with us.
But the city may not have enough against him. We do not know how many there are. And not to
They'd have-
mention, don't forget about his powers.
Well, we'd have to ask Laren, but I'm sure he'd be willing to spend some soldiers to the very base operations that is spawning the entire plague.
That is
True.
true. Well, let's see what we could do. The palace is just ahead.
All right. You step into the palace courtyard. You can see that Vinar is currently out wearing a thick furry cloak to sort of shield himself from the elements as the snow is falling. He's talking to a few guards. Look like he's just giving basic instructions for their patrols as you step in. Looks your way. You all look grim.
We have quite the situation.
Your scouting party isn't coming back. We need to speak to Laren.
All right, come on then. He turns to the soldiers he was briefing. You have your orders already, get to it. They nod and scamper off. Bernard sort of jerks his head towards the palace and leads you back inside. Sort of beeline for the throne room. You step in, and as per usual, Laren is there. He's currently just sitting at the moment, looking like he's trying to collect himself to go ahead with the rest of the day, because it's still kind of early at this point. He looks up at you all as you enter. Ah, Benar. Everyone else. Something wrong?
Very.
He stands up and makes his way forward. What is it?
We may have a lead on the location of the cultist base and where they're converting the infection to cultists, but we've also learned that your scouting party is not coming back.
How'd you figure this out?
There's a teenage girl at the gate. She told us her sister and a few of your guards were captured. And
It was in the warehouse and dock administration. She knows the specific one. If this lead is something we want to follow, we were considering a scouting mission to try and verify these claims.
It's risky, Benar points out. They caught our scouts, they might catch you too. And they know to look out for you.
We are aware of this, very much so, if you might recall. That's why this is a scouting run. Unless the situation changes, we do not intend to engage.
yes. We must hope that stealth is our ally today.
Right. Laren gives a slow nod. Alright, well, I can't exactly stop you. If you can confirm one way or the other that this is where the plague is coming from, though, you come right back here so we can organize a proper assault.
That was a
We might,
plan.
Right.
as worrying it might be for you, we might need an army at the end of the day to beat these cultists.
Unless we can catch Saran alone, with his forces at his back, that would be too much for us to handle.
Well, just come back alive. I get the feeling we're not done needing you just yet.
I have every intention, and if he doesn't die by the end of it, Saran has a few questions to answer, both the city and of my own.
Alright, good luck. I'll have a few additional squads get their gear together just in case this is something we need to jump on. If the need arises, they'll be ready to mobilize the second you get back.
Actually, before we go, would there be any way for us to if we go to this warehouse and it is what we think it is, but if something goes wrong, we're not going to be able to retreat in time. Is there something we could do to perhaps signal you?
Venara and Laren kind of look between each other for a moment. Well, one thing you could try is setting fire to a building.
Thanatos.
Smoke.
You're fire.
There would be damage, yes, but the smoke plume would draw our attention, and the snow would hopefully slow the spread. It would give us a beacon
Fire.
to follow.
Fire, I can definitely do.
Our Dark Knight here does have an affinity for flame.
So I remember. I heard the reports from the first fight. You incinerated a cultist. Well done.
Well, he shot my friend. Oh. Bad
That's
luck.
become a habit.
Remember
Alright.
to use that on Sawan. Make him a little bit toasty.
Toasty!
It's fine.
Him being a mage himself, I'm sure he's used to magic attacks.
True, but
Mm.
this does seem a prudent step, just in case we are to be captured or cut off, and you need to know that this is where we need to go to end this.
Mm.
All right. Good luck.
Thanks.
Onward to adventure.
You guys heading out?
Mm.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
Onward to Tone, most likely getting us into another ambush.
Yeah, this is why I prepared that signal thing, so if we do get royally screwed, we have someone coming.
Right, well,
Mm.
soon enough, you return to the barricade, and you see the woman is still there, looking, kind of on edge. A lot of heavily armored people watching her like a fucking hawk, so.
Alright, miss, what's your name?
Oh shit, I didn't give her one.
Let's just call her the sickly
Smooth.
little teenage girl.
No, that's dumb.
Can't be
that's...
no name. No.
Yeah, no, I'll just borrow a name from a Skyrim mod, and so we shall call her.
I'm Marisi.
Mercy.
Oh, is he? I was going to
All
say
right.
Tavino or something like that, but that would do.
Alright, Marisi. Here's what we're going to do. If you want your sister back, then you're going to lead us to this warehouse, but on our terms. That means carefully, quietly, sneaking, so we don't share her fate. We are going to find this warehouse. We are going to scout it out, see if she is there, along with our soldiers, and then we'll decide what to do from that point.
Okay.
And if you feel even more violently ill, just let me know. I do the best I can.
Okay, thank you.
Are you going to be okay? Do you think you can do this?
Mm.
My sister's life is on the line. I have no choice.
What is your sister's name, just so...
Fucking hell!
You should have really...
If you're
I
going to
really
make
smack
characters
her.
that we're going to be interacting with, Tone, they need names.
I feel like I want to get us something before
Right,
we go.
and he's
Because
asking her
skin and
sister's name
bones.
just so when they get in, they can go, "This little sister person, are you here? Are you not dead or cultisty?"
Mm.
Cultist.
I was gonna.
Okay.
I felt like I want to give her like a big loaf of bread or something.
Okay.
Anything
Okay.
for-
Okay. Marisi nods.
Yes, her name's Leyland.
All right, we'll do our best to get Leyland out alive, but for now, we need to make sure we don't also get captured, because if that happens, then, well, I don't think I need to tell you the implications.
Mm.
Of course. Are you ready to head out now?
Mm-hmm. Lead the way.
I have my new armor. Still need that stress relief. Let's go.
All right. Well, and
Keep
so
the crossbow away for now. Let's not jump to conclusion.
She's making a joke, Thanatos.
well,
Yeah.
that's okay. So Marisi begins to lead you into the streets. To your surprise, she leads you through a series of alleyways as you're going, seemingly reluctant to use the main road. as you're passing through one, she explains,
So that we're harder to spot.
Smart. We use a similar tactic.
Hmm.
The cultists use the alleys too, so it's a bit of a double-edged sword, but
Hmm.
If you run
How
into
long-
any, you stay behind while we deal with the issue.
right.
How long have you been out here?
You mean living on the streets?
Yes.
Too long.
Hmm. Well, I'm hoping we can put an end to this terrible plague as soon as we can.
I hate to ask this, but where are your parents?
Mom died shortly after giving birth to Leyland. And Dad,
she falls quiet.
I'm sorry for your loss.
lost at sea.
Oh.
When?
Before Leyland was born.
I see. I'm sorry. Well,
It's at about
Okay,
this.
everyone.
It's at about this point they are coming to the exit of the alleyway, and Marisa immediately crouches down behind some barrels.
Okay, down.
Hmm.
do what she says.
If I could have everyone roll me stealth checks, please.
Oh,
Oh God!
I have +6 on this now. Yes, I do.
Oh, you lucky Brits, you!
Flight suit Max 2, everybody.
oh dear. Damn it.
And this is the moment where I'm gonna realize
15.
I may have fucked up. Although I got
No.
a +2, but let's see what that do.
Oh, yeah. Rocket, no.
Oh, okay.
It's always the servos.
It's always the same. Motors.
11.
What?
Okay.
What the fuck?
Okay. So,
God damn it!
so here's what happens.
Shit.
As you're walking along, Rocka's kind of, her hooves are crunching in the snow, or not hooves up, her talons are crunching in the snow, and the servos aren't helping you. Neothil and Alice are managing to stay fairly quiet, using the snow to their advantage, Neothil especially. And then Thanatos, because of the snow, he doesn't see the obstruction that's hidden. That's
Is
right
it a
at his-
rope?
Yes, it is.
There's
There's this coil of frozen rope. His foot hits it with a boom and goes whoa, and falls face first into the snow.
I will hang you by a rope.
Hey, this is karma for that one time you were trying to find
Oh, this.
Wait, karma for what?
It was all worth
that
it.
one
just
time
for
you were trying to find a rope and couldn't find it.
That's exactly what they're doing.
Hey,
Oh,
that was
how
the,
fated fool.
God damn it.
luckily, the fall doesn't make much noise. The only part of it that made any kind of sound was your falling shout. But luckily, no one seemed to notice.
that. Nee slowly looks towards Thanatos, a rather bemused expression on her face, whispering, "Well, at least you finally found it."
He just slowly looks up to her with this glare of just burning hate.
She just gives him a wink and then turns back around.
Marisi seems quite nonplussed by this interaction, apparently not getting the inside joke. But then,
Well, of course not.
but then shifts around and points at a building right across the street from you. I am going to go ahead and actually put it on the map layer so you can see it.
Ah.
Da-da-da.
Whoa, bugger.
Isn't that the same spot the mansion was in that non-canon one?
Oh my.
Close.
It...
I think the mansion was this one.
Dog ruled.
Either way, it's not canon, so meh.
Yeah. She points and says,
That's the place. That's the warehouse.
Can I have a look with awareness?
All of us roll awareness checks, I guess.
if you're wanting to
Okay.
examine it, yeah.
I do it too. Why not?
Wow.
You got the half that time.
Revenge.
Well,
That
not
is so
really, because
cool.
I didn't face plant. At least, you finally found the rope, so you can do rope-related things.
Yeah, go ahead and add 50 feet of slightly frosty rope to your inventory.
Fuck, I don't want rope. Fuck you and your rope.
11 again.
You never know when rope might come in handy. Take the bloody rope.
Anyway.
Yeah,
Oh,
so
man.
I can freaking hang all of you.
The
I mean,
salt.
if there's ever...
Hey, I'm not making the rope puns.
You
But
can
let's
go-
just say your fool
Hey,
won't be singing the
Thanatos,
song.
we'll put it this way. If you don't take the rope, I'm taking the rope, and I will hold it in your face whenever you do something stupid.
The
Your
elf
feet
goes
do not
first.
go in the Hall of Fame, that's for sure.
Okay, so. All right, so.
I have rope.
Okay, so. A spread of Neothil 7, Thanatos 13, Rocket 12, and Alistair 11. Neothil, looking at this building, you can't really get much out of it. It just looks like an old, slightly frosted over warehouse. For Thanatos, Rocket, and Alistair, though, you're able to make out the signs. For Thanatos, you feel just the slightest tickling on the back of your between your shoulder blades, where Saran's dark blast had hit and healed you the previous time you encountered him. It tingles a bit. You just know Saran is here. Whereas with Rocket and Alistair, Rocket, your mechanical eye kind of adjusts a bit, and you're able to make out subtle movement in one of the windows deeper inside the warehouse. You can't make out the specifics of who's moving around or in what way, but you can see movement. And Alistair is more or less the same thing, just minus the mechanical part. You're able to see just the faintest bit of movement through one of the windows, and you can also see the disturbances in the snow that have already kind of started to be filled in by continual snowfall around the front entrance that indicates something was dragged in recently. Relatively so, at least.
Take it you will communicate this.
I can feel it. He's here.
Saran.
Well, then this is the place. Seems you're around the mark, miss.
What are you going to do now?
As much I want to bash his head in with my staff, I think it's best that we report back.
How many cultists did you see when they were taking away your sister and our people?
I was panicking. I didn't count.
Oh, he'd be surrounded by a load of them. And
Most likely
just
archers.
archers and maybe other nasties.
Can I see if I can spot any archers on those tiny rooftops?
Roll me an awareness check.
That's better.
Ew.
You do not currently see any archers out and about.
Well, I don't trust that.
We don't see any on the outside, and we don't see, and even though we can't see them with this awareness check, I have a pretty good suspicion that they're on the roof.
Before we
somewhere.
go back, I want to see if I can scout this place out more. I
Ah.
might try and get a higher vantage point just to see if there are any archers or anything else that we may need to worry about.
Be careful, Nee. Don't get spotted.
I'm going to retreat a little further back into the alley so if any fuck ups occur, they won't spot it.
Mm.
And then I'm going to try and
Careful
get
how
onto
you
a roof.
climbed. Maybe a bit slippery through the cold weather.
All right. That would be an athletics check.
Uh-oh.
Same. Oh, for fuck's sake.
Oh!
This is why I moved back into the alleyway first. So
Well, anyways,
Oh.
you study the building you eventually settled on as the point with the most handholds for a minute, and you eventually conclude there's no way you can climb this safely because of all of the frost and the snow. If you tried, you would probably slip and fall and hurt yourself and raise the alarm.
Nee,
How
we just
merciful of
got
you.
healed. Nee, we
Alright.
just got healed. Don't hurt yourself.
I agree, there's no way that we can climb up onto the ice. Unless, is there any place we could, like, if we were to lasso this rope, this 50-foot rope, and put it onto a chimney or something?
Oh God, this is gonna be the whole thing, isn't it?
Uh,
That's not gonna go away anytime soon.
Yeah, I suppose there's a place you could do that. I'd ask you to make just a generalized finesse check to try and do it effectively.
So it's 2d6
Thanatos,
plus
can you-
3.
Hey, Thanatos, can you defrost that rope? We might need it.
Not unless you want it charred.
I said
13.
lightning.
All right. Well, anyway, I mean, the rope's a little frosty, yeah, but it's still movable.
Hmm.
So after taking a minute or so and just kind of like running your hands over it to get some of the frost off, it's in a spot where you can use it, and you give it a throw, and it flies up, and you're able to hook it around a straight pole that looks like a Mithra might lounge on if it weren't snowy weather. And it's got a pretty good grip. You're pretty sure it'll hold.
Oh,
So now the difficulty target for climbing up is noticeably decreased.
right. So I think it's athletics again.
Athletics again, yep, with a lower
Da,
DC.
da, 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 da,
13 again.
All right.
Hey!
So right before I climb up, I just give Thanatos a cocky smirk and say, "Told you so."
Don't fall, knee. It would break my heart.
Well, she doesn't fall.
Well, it can't be
which-
any worse than your face.
Oh,
Oh.
that old school diss though. Anyways, so
See, you're not the
That
only
is a
one that can burn.
oh God. Anyway, with the help of this rope, you are able to much more effectively climb up. You're not having to worry about slipping so much. You got a good grip, and you basically just run up the side of the wall with the help of this rope, and soon enough, you're on the rooftop.
All right. So, I'm going to crouch down and ask the others, what are you lot going to do?
Well,
Since you're up there, I guess we could wait here and while you go and have a look.
Maybe you should all wait by the alleyway entrance where we just were, just in case things go wrong and I need an extract.
indeed.
Got it.
Because
Yes.
after last time, I do not trust roof tiles.
Could
Be
just stay in a
careful.
closet.
So what?
You could just stay in the closet.
Santa Closet.
I thought I heard that.
I'm not even going to ask who Santa Claus is, but I'm going now.
All right, so Nee, what are you doing?
I'm going to get across to one of the nearby buildings and see if I can get a better look out.
All right, go ahead and reroll awareness then.
Come on,
14.
come on. Yeah!
All right.
Nearly critical.
Yeah, that's good. So, you'll look down on the place, and you're able to tell pretty much what Alistair was able to discern before that things were dragged in more recently. And looking at it now with the sort of elevated position, you can tell that this place does get some foot traffic. But at the same time, it looks like it gets a surprisingly small amount. You're not 100% sure why, but it looks like this place doesn't get as much traffic, even as the cultist hideout you went and busted as your first foray after that initial cultist battle on your first day here.
Either they didn't expect us to find this place, or there's something bigger inside. That's slightly scary.
Do you see Sawan up there?
Or he'll be inside the warehouse, most likely. So, can I make an estimate on about how many would pass through? Roundish?
It's very hard to tell through the snow with that 14. You'd probably have to say, if you were counting Saran, somewhere between 5 and 10, but you're not 100% comfortable with that estimate. It could be fewer, it could be more, but that just seems like the most likely denomination.
Well, at least we know there won't be that many roof-borne archers, not as many as we encountered when fighting Saran the first time. But it's still something to plan for, because there are some. Can I see the entrance to this warehouse?
Yes, you can. That's how you can see the drag marks that lead inside. Kind
Are
of
there
what
any guards outside?
it does not have any guards outside, not at present, no. You get the feeling that they probably don't want to draw attention to this place by making it obviously protected.
Too late. Alright, well, we're not getting inside without an army, without forces, and then we can make plans. Alright, I'm gonna retreat back to the others.
Right.
Ethyl
So what do you
comes-
find out?
She comes hopping
I'm
down
making
from
sure
the
to
roof.
grab the. I make sure to grab the rope as well.
If you get the rope, you jump back down. Neothils with the rest of the party did not slip on moss this time.
Okay, I nailed that. Alright,
What do you see?
There seems to be a few archers that make patrols on the rooftops. Not as many as we encountered when fighting Saran the first time. I can't determine exactly how many. However, it is something to plan for, but it won't be the biggest issue, especially if we can take them out before we get in. Beyond that, at this point, we need to report back to Laren.
You didn't see Saran?
He's inside. This is the place, though, most certainly. But
I know
since
you
there
want
seems
just
to be, but since there seems to be so few archers around, either Saran never expects us to find this place, or inside he's got something very scary. Or maybe that scary thing is just himself, and he's that egotistical.
Well, considering what he did to us last time.
Yeah, well-
talk to the girl.
Yeah, Maurice's still kind of sitting there, kind of shivering a bit in the cold, coughing into her hands occasionally.
Marisi,
Mercy.
we're going to head back to the non-infected areas now. We're going to report back to Lord Laren and get more people.
I know you want your sister back, but we faced Shawan. We're gonna need help for this. So if you could be patient, we promise we'll come back with help. Okay?
If you wish to come with us and once more await our return by the gates.
It would be safer if you stay close to the good side of the city.
All right.
She sort of pulls herself back up, shaking a bit, but otherwise seems to be good under her own power.
Well, let's press on.
Before we go, Risi, your help in this is most appreciated. If in this place, if we can solve Saran and his cultists, and maybe find a cure from all this, we might see if we can try and put a good word into Lord Laren. Maybe get you somewhere warm permanently.
And even help your sister with her condition as well.
Once a
hopefully.
cure is found.
Thank you.
But right now, kiddo, I think you may need some food. So,
You have
if you
any?
want... Not with
Not
me, but as soon as we
on
get...
us.
I can get you some if you wish.
Yes, well, we'll have to leave you at the gates again, but while three of us head up to report to Lord Laren, one of us can go get you some food, if you so wish.
I don't know what to say. Thank you.
You're welcome. We're happy
We
to
never,
help.
we never intended to come to this city, but well, we're here. We're trying to help.
All right, you guys heading back?
Yeah.
Aye.
All right.
Unless you have something up your dickish sleeve.
Yeah.
Nope.
Nope, we just move.
Just move before he changes his mind and puts like 30 archers on us.
Yeah, well, soon enough, you all
Well, I snap at him.
make it back to the barricade. The guards see you returning, and they are visibly relieved at your return. Apparently they were given notice of the situation. The one who talked to Marisi before steps forward. You've returned. What's the situation? What'd you find?
We need to talk to Laren. We may have found what we've been looking for. In the meantime, Marisi here is going to remain by your barricade as she did before. You are to keep an eye on her and protect her if anything untoward might arrive.
The guard kind of grimaces a little bit, apparently not entirely comfortable taking orders from you, but he decides not to argue it. All right, good to move on then.
Thank
In the best
you.
interest of everyone.
Right.
Let's go.
All right. Is anyone breaking off to get her food?
Alice
Yep.
here. Let's see.
I was
Alice here.
going
Why
to.
don't you?
You
I
offered
am. Yep. I should have enough. I mean, it's
cookies.
only either cookies or something bigger, like a loaf of bread or something.
Yeah.
Because she must be.
How much
freaking
skill do you have?
43 left, but it should be enough, hopefully,
Looking
for a
good.
loaf of bread.
Yeah, just go into the
Anything?
inn and just get a loaf of bread. Or something.
Well, you do that. The rest of us can make haste towards the palace.
It
Indeed.
just means I have to talk to a real interesting person again.
All right.
Okay.
We can go ahead and not weigh too heavily on Alistair's interaction. We can just
Yep, and just say,
yeah, just 20. Yeah,
I'll just take your bread, please.
Yeah, just
Or-
just 20 gil from you, and that'll cover that just fine.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And meanwhile, everyone else is beelining it for the palace.
Yeah.
Yep.
Alasar's a little bit freaked out by him, so he's just going to be like, that please, thank you, Gil, goodbye.
Bread, please. Thank you. Bye. It's like, oh,
In all
he's
honesty-
taking my bluntness to heart.
He's just got a happy smile on his face as always.
In honesty, Tone just doesn't want to do that interaction with that guy again.
Well, no, I love
Yeah.
no, well, no, I love playing that guy, but we got more important shit going on right now.
Yes,
Like
we're going to
the
take
cultist
down,
hideouts.
hopefully. That's what I want to get to.
All right, so you're allowed into the palace without any fuss. You make your way, pretty much beelining it for the throne room, and you can tell there is already more movement in the palace than there was when you left. There's several teams of guards currently stationed in the foyer, and they look up curiously and seriously as you step in. Luminous connection is acting up. That's what that Discord ping was, everyone.
Gee, typing.
Alright, Alright. Well, don't know what we can do about that. She says it keeps cutting in and out. Just, Alright, show must
Sorry,
go on.
everyone,
Sorry about
for the
that.
technical difficulties.
Yeah, sorry about that. All right, so, let me just make sure this is still recording. Yes, it is. Okay, good. All right, so you're quickly allowed into the throne room, and as you step in, you see not only are Laren and Vanar there, but Mika and Tam are also present. They're looking down at a map of the city again, sprawled out on the table that's been pulled back out, talking to each other. They look up as you enter, and Vanar immediately spins to face you. You're back. What did you find?
Well, Saran's in there. It looks like Marisi, the girl we told you about, was on the mark. This is the place.
Vanar kind of looks over at Laren. Is there anything else we need?
We're
Yeah.
not sure how many are there, but according to Nee, there's not too many.
There
Maybe.
are a few archers that seem to patrol the buildings. I couldn't get an exact estimate, but far fewer than you would expect. It seems that either he didn't expect anyone to get this close, or there's going to be something quite nasty on the inside.
Oh
So-
shit! I just realised I'm at the. Oh goddamn!
It's also possible. It's also possible that he didn't want to draw attention to the building. Minimal military presence would make it more inconspicuous.
True. Or a mix of all of them.
Yeah, Vanar points at the map. Which building? Point it out to us.
Pointed.
He nods. All right. Well then. You've all proven yourselves to be remarkably capable fighters. We need a strategy of attack if we're going to do this.
Well, I would advise seeing if we could take out those archers first so they don't raise that alarms.
One thing we could try. He sort of, studies the map for a second. If what you say is true, and if my hunch is correct, they have a minimal force at this hideout. So, if I led the assembled squads in a frontal assault, that would draw pretty much all of the currently present cultists' attention all at once. They wouldn't be able to do a whole lot about it, except just try and defend against me and my teams. And that would give you all an opportunity to slip in and see if you could find the source of the plague and neutralize it. And failing that, finding Saran.
Zoran's intelligent. He'll probably see something like this coming. At least enough to confront us
And then
himself.
I walk in it, I guess.
Yeah, and it's at about this point that Alistair makes his grand return, stepping into the room.
Ah, good, you're all here.
Did you give her the bread, food, whatever it is you brought?
Yeah, we will say Alistair went ahead and passed it to the guards before making a beeline for the palace, eager to get caught up with the strategizing.
I mean, Lee was asking him directly.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
I was just saying that to inform his response.
Yeah, so I was going to do that. Yep, I gave her the bread. And I had to wash here as fast as I can. Guess we're all talking about what's happening now, aren't we?
Speaking of the girl, after we are finished here, I would like to discuss her.
And may I also throw something onto the table if you don't mind? I have got sort of a plan in mind just in case we do have to face against Zoran again, if nothing goes right. Like not trying to sneak him out while your forces are battling each other. So, from what I managed to gather from when we faced Zoran, one of his most dangerous attacks results with his arm and arcane weapon. If one of us could remove that arm, it would incredibly weaken him. I mean, yeah, we could go for the head, but the thing is...
That's a rather ominous thought for a
Well, my arrows are designed for
this.
piercing more than armor
If he
removal.
touches... Think of it like this. If that arm touches Wocket, she could be in the biggest risk.
The amber
We'd
arm,
lose her.
he most likely could infect with it. I would say arm removal might not be a bad idea, Alicia. I would not be suited for the task because it would require my dagger, and that's a bit too close.
Yeah.
Not so much because of the staff. Rockets could tear it off, but like
I
you
was
said, we
thinking
don't want
maybe
her close.
Thanatos might.
Yes.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Thanatos with the big long scythe that likes chopping things.
Because this is where you come in. Since his powers doesn't really affect you that much, you have a better chance of getting up to him close and personal.
True.
If he has any backup, I'm sure the three of us could try to deal with them while you get your swing in. And once that arm is done, you could use that chocobo whistle.
I'm
and
still
Rocket
worried
can go
about. I'm still worried about all of you going up against him. That shadow power hurts you a lot more than it hurts me. Or well, it doesn't hurt me at all.
I would not be surprised if he's planned for you this time.
That is a problem.
If we need to take him, ideally we want to take him as he is, without backup, and work together. Like, interrupt any spells he might cast. Surround him, make sure he stays pinned.
Definitely.
So once we get inside this warehouse, we're not going to want to go loud. We want to be careful, try and free the prisoners. That if we can free the guards inside, they could assist, and then confront Saran if necessary, but only if necessary.
So let's see if we've got this plan straight. You're proposing you go in first to try and sneak in, rescue the hostages, and get out, and then that's when I'd bring in my troops.
I was more referring to us doing that while they were distracted, because us sneaking in while the cult is all in there would be suicidal.
Of course.
We need a distraction.
Very well then. Vanar glances up at Tam. Can I count on you to keep the soldiers safe and healed? Tam nods his head without hesitation. Of course. And after a moment, Mika suddenly pipes up,
I'm going to.
Hmm?
Mika?
she kind of stands there for a second and looks down.
Look, I've lived in the city my entire life. I don't want to see it like this anymore, and I think maybe I can help. If I go with you guys, I won't be in the thickest part of the fighting, and I can help keep you all alive. I am a white mage.
If you wish to come along, just be warned. If things start to turn to the worse, you must turn in one. Never face off against Joanne or his power. He could strike you down.
I wouldn't
Without a
underestimate
second thought.
her. But Nice takes a step forward towards her. You're sure about this? It's going to be one of the most dangerous things we've done.
Hmm.
Perfect test
Like-
to see if I'm really worthy of being a white mage, then.
Hmm.
Nee gives her a smile.
May you be
All right.
the greatest hero of your city.
All right. I won't say no if you want to come. I'll feel better with you there, actually.
Tam kind of steps forward at this point, puts a hand on Mika's shoulder, looks her right in the eye. You be careful.
You're not telling me no?
You're a grown woman, of course not. But I am telling you to be careful. You can't go to the Academy City if you get yourself killed.
We'll keep her safe.
Be assured that I won't let anything. I won't let that monster lay a finger on her.
I'm trusting you with that. Anything else? Vinar pipes up. Anything else we need to add to this plan, or are we good to go?
Besides the arcane weapon Shawan has, I think that's about it.
Very well then. He stands upright, turns to Laren. We'll move out immediately unless there's anything else you would order us to do. Laren shakes his head. No, you go on. I'll see if I can organize a defense in case this fails and they try a counterattack. Good luck, Vinar. You too.
Yeah.
Vinar then turns back to the rest of you, his expression hardening. I'm gonna gather up my troops. You make whatever preparations you need to make and meet us at the barricade.
Yeah, of course.
And then he steps out without another word. Tam kinda nods at Mika and follows Vinar out. And Mika has joined the party.
Wow.
Da-da-da-da.
Yep.